I want to talk to you about our technique that I want us to use in marching band, whether we play snares or tenors and even basses. Okay, now basses are a little bit different when it comes to our stroke because we're working against gravity and having to throw the stick up versus down on a flat surface. So, but for auditions, okay, we're all playing on one surface anyways. So let's talk about it. Our technique, okay? Make sure that when you're holding the sticks, okay, you should have a little bit of stick coming out the back, but our fulcrum is here, okay? Thumbs on the side of the stick and they should point down to the bead, right? We never should have our thumb off the stick, below or above, right? It's on the side of the stick, okay? Your index finger is across from your thumb, right? In line with your thumb. We don't want our index finger down here or above the stick, okay? Always across on that first knuckle, okay? So we squeeze like that, and then we wrap the rest of our fingers around. Now our fingers should always stay on the stick, okay? Even when we get to some faster rolls, when we're playing 8 on a hand, no matter the exercise, we never should take our ring finger or pinkies off the stick. Okay, now that doesn't mean we're squeezing. We never squeeze the stick into our palm. Okay, it's never something we do. Okay, but those fingers should always stay wrapped around. Okay, and see, the stick is still free to move in here. For example, when we start playing double strokes, when we're playing bucks or 8 on a hand or any of the other exercises, okay, the stick is still free to move in here. Okay, but those fingers give you that extra strength and extra control. Okay, so thumb on the side, first finger on the first knuckle across from your thumb, the rest of the fingers wrapped around. Now, when your sticks are in front of you, okay, you want to make sure that you don't have your shoulders sticking out like this. Okay, that just adds all this extra tension in your shoulders, and we don't want that. Okay, tension is not good for us to play. Especially when we get to faster tempos. Okay, so you want your shoulders to be relaxed as possible, arms by your side. Your stick should make a V, or to the observer, it looks like a V, right? To you, it looks like the A without the line across the middle, right? So make a triangle shape here. Beads together, about 1 inch above the head, okay, when we're at a set position. Okay, notice my hands. My palms are to the ceiling. Okay, it might be turned out just a little slightly. Okay, they don't need to be perfectly flat, but what we don't want is to play like this. Okay, this is called a French grip. We don't want that. Okay, we get all sorts of slicing going on. Now, if you're playing a drum set, okay, that's different. Okay, but when we're in a drum line, we want to all look the same. Okay, and this is going to help us look the same. Okay, so tops of your hands face the ceiling. Your thumbs and fingers are in the right place, and your fingers are wrapped around the stick. Okay, shoulders relax. Now, when you play, okay, we want our motion to always start with our wrist. Okay, so whether we're playing 8 on a hand, bucks, triplet diddle, gallop, any of the other exercises we have, okay, everything starts with the wrist. Okay, if we're doing a slow 8 on a hand, okay, yeah, some arm might be involved if we're trying to get a full 15 inches, but everything starts from the wrist, right? The wrist is what starts it. As we get faster, that wrist becomes even more isolated, right? And we get to some even faster notes than that, well, then we can add some finger, but the main motion comes from the wrist. Okay, we really need to get our wrist fully flexed, and when we're doing these exercises, right, we want that wrist to be involved and to develop a lot of strength. Okay, so think about that. When we're doing 8 on a hand, right, that's all wrist, right? No fingers here. Very little arm when we start. Okay, so think about that, wrist. And as far as our technique goes, we want to, I say this in other videos, make the sticks feel heavy in your hands. Okay, we don't want to have any tension, none in our shoulders, none in our hands. Okay, got to hang on to the sticks, but make them feel heavy, right? If Mr. Wren came by and yanked it out of your hand, I would be able to take your stick, okay? If I were to come by and try to take your stick from you and you're holding on that tight, that is too tight, okay? So make the sticks feel heavy. Let the stick do the work, okay? So relax shoulders, fingers on the stick, fingers wrapped around, palms up, or not palms, the tops of your hands up, arms by your side, nice and relaxed, okay? And a motion comes from the wrist, okay? If we pulled our sticks straight up, the beads will come apart, right? But above our drum, we have that A shape, beads close together, playing in the center of the drum, and about an inch above the drum head. Okay, so some things to think about. Make sure that you are always using good technique, going for good sound quality above all else. Okay, above speed, above fancy tricks. No, we want good sounds. Okay, if we're not making good sounds and using correct technique as we do it, it's not going to work for us in the drum line. Okay, so some things to think about.